Hello, everyone. Today we'll explore a serious but often overlooked health issue: proper food storage for elderly people. Did you know that 48 million Americans suffer from food poisoning each year? This number is alarming, but what's even more concerning is that over 3,000 of these cases are fatal. Among these, elderly people are at the highest risk. Why are elderly people more vulnerable? The answer lies in their immune system. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, the ability to fight disease-causing bacteria decreases by up to 30% after age 70. This makes it harder for elderly bodies to combat pathogens from contaminated food. Many people think the refrigerator is the safest place to store all types of food. In reality, this could be the source of the problem. Not all foods are suitable for cold environments. Many foods stored in refrigerators not only lose flavor and nutritional value, but can also develop harmful toxins, particularly dangerous for the elderly. In today's video, we'll explore 9 foods that elderly people should never store in the refrigerator, along with proper storage methods to ensure food safety and maximize nutritional value. Let's learn how to protect yourself and your loved ones. Potatoes, a staple in daily meals, but are you storing them correctly? Many people habitually put potatoes in the refrigerator to extend their shelf life, but this is a serious mistake, especially for elderly people. When potatoes are stored in cold environments below 40 degrees, about 4 degrees, an unfavorable metabolic process occurs. The starch in potatoes begins to convert to sugar. This not only alters the natural flavor of potatoes, making them unusually sweet, but also affects their texture, making them soft and less appealing. However, a more serious problem occurs when you cook these potatoes at high temperatures. The excess sugar in potatoes reacts with the amino acid asparagine, forming acrylamide, a potentially carcinogenic compound. Research from Stockholm University has shown that acrylamide is associated with increased cancer risk, especially in elderly people whose body's detoxification systems have declined. This not only alters the natural flavor of potatoes, making them unusually sweet, but also affects their texture, making them soft and less appealing. However, a more serious problem occurs when you cook these potatoes at high temperatures. The excess sugar in potatoes reacts with the amino acid asparagine, forming acrylamide, a potentially carcinogenic compound. Furthermore, storing potatoes in the refrigerator significantly reduces their vitamin C content and important antioxidants. These substances play an essential role in maintaining immune health and fighting chronic diseases common in elderly people. So what's the correct storage method? Keep potatoes in a dark, dry, and cool place, away from direct sunlight. The ideal temperature is around 45-50 degrees Celsius, 7 to 10 degrees C, which could be in a kitchen cabinet or cellar. With this storage method, potatoes can maintain their flavor and nutritional value for about 2 to 3 weeks. Always watch for signs that potatoes have gone bad, such as green sprouts, black spots, or strange odors. These parts contain solanine, a natural toxin that can cause headaches, nausea, and digestive problems, particularly dangerous for elderly people. Bread, a basic food in many American breakfast tables, but improper storage can quickly make it dry and hard, losing its distinctive flavor. Many people think refrigeration will keep bread fresh longer, but the reality is quite the opposite. When bread is placed in the cold environment of a refrigerator, a scientific phenomenon called retrogradation occurs. This is the process where starch in bread recrystallizes, making bread quickly become harder and drier than if kept at room temperature. Research from the American Bread Association has revealed a surprising fact. Bread stored in the refrigerator loses moisture 6 times faster than bread kept at room temperature. Moreover, when you take bread out of the refrigerator, the temperature difference creates moisture on the bread's surface. This creates an ideal environment for mold growth. For elderly people, consuming moldy bread can have serious consequences due to mycotoxins. toxins from mold that can cause respiratory and digestive problems, and even liver and kidney damage. Elderly people often have less sensitive digestive systems, making it difficult for them to detect when bread has started to mold, especially when the mold is just forming and not visible to the naked eye. This increases the risk of consuming contaminated bread without knowing. So, how should bread be properly stored? For short-term use, 2-3 days, keep bread in a sealed bread box or paper bag at room temperature. If you need to store it longer, freezing is the best option. Frozen bread can maintain its flavor and texture for up to 3 months. When you need to use frozen bread, let it thaw naturally at room temperature or warm it gently in the oven. Avoid using the microwave as it can make bread tough and lose its natural fluffiness. These simple methods will help bread retain its delicious flavor and nutritional value while protecting the health of elderly people. Onions, an essential seasoning in many traditional dishes, but storing them in the refrigerator can cause many unexpected problems. Many people think the refrigerator is ideal for keeping onions fresh, but scientific evidence points to the contrary. Onions have a natural structure with a papery outer layer that acts as a protective barrier against moisture. When placed in the humid environment of a refrigerator, onions quickly absorb moisture, making them soft and creating ideal conditions for mold growth. Particularly, peeled or sliced onions absorb moisture faster, increasing the risk of spoilage. Additionally, onions contain strong sulfur compounds that can permeate other foods in the refrigerator, changing their flavor. Have you ever wondered why milk or butter sometimes has an onion smell? This is why. Research from Cornell University has revealed a concerning fact. Onions stored in refrigerators lose up to 30% of their flavonoid compounds, antioxidants beneficial for cardiovascular health. For elderly people, losing these compounds can affect their ability to prevent heart disease and stroke. Particularly dangerous is when cut onions are improperly stored. The cut surface of an onion is an ideal environment for bacteria to grow, especially when kept in the refrigerator too long. These bacteria can cause serious food poisoning symptoms in elderly people, such as nausea, stomach pain, and diarrhea. So what's the correct way to store onions? Keep whole onions in a dry, dark, and well-ventilated place with an ideal temperature of about 40-50 degrees, 410 degrees CC. This could be in a kitchen cabinet, vegetable basket, or cellar. Avoid keeping onions near potatoes because ethylene gas from onions can cause potatoes to sprout early. For cut onions, store them in a sealed container in the refrigerator and use within 1 to 2 days. Always wash your hands and utensils thoroughly when handling cut onions to avoid cross-contamination. These simple measures will help you maximize the nutritional value of onions and protect the health of elderly people. Tomatoes, juicy fruits with distinctive flavor and high nutritional value, but are you inadvertently losing these values by storing them in the refrigerator? Many people put tomatoes in the refrigerator hoping to extend their shelf life, but this is a common mistake. Tomatoes have a complex natural ripening process controlled by special enzymes. When the temperature drops below 55 degrees, these enzymes stop working, interrupting the ripening process. As a result, tomatoes cannot fully develop their natural flavor and color. Instead of their characteristic sweetness, tomatoes become bland and may even have an unpleasant metallic taste. Research from the University of Florida has published a notable finding. Tomatoes kept in the refrigerator lose up to 50% of their flavor and 30% of their vitamin C after just 3 days. For elderly people, losing this amount of vitamin C is particularly disadvantageous, as vitamin C plays an important role in boosting the immune system and fighting common infections. Not only affecting flavor and nutrition, storing tomatoes in the refrigerator also changes their texture. Tomato cells are damaged by cold temperatures, making them soft, watery, and losing their natural crispness. Tomato skin is also affected, becoming wrinkled and losing its characteristic brightness. Importantly, tomatoes contain carotenoid compounds like lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that can reduce the risk of cancer and cardiovascular disease. When stored in the refrigerator, the metabolic process that produces lycopene is interrupted, causing elderly people to miss out on this important health benefit. So, what's the correct way to store tomatoes? Keep tomatoes at room temperature, away from direct sunlight. Place them stem side up on a flat plate or in a well-ventilated basket. This way, tomatoes will continue their natural ripening process, fully developing their flavor and nutritional value. If tomatoes are overripe, cook them immediately into sauce or soup, which can then be frozen for later use. The cooking process will help release lycopene, even enhancing the body's ability to absorb it. This is an excellent way to utilize overripe tomatoes without wasting their precious nutritional value. Garlic, not just a flavorful spice, but also a natural wonder drug with countless health benefits, especially important for elderly people. However, storing garlic in the refrigerator can cause you to lose most of these valuable properties. Garlic contains the sulfur compound allicin, a substance with powerful antibacterial, antiviral, and immune-boosting properties. When garlic is stored in the humid environment of a refrigerator, moisture stimulates early sprouting. This process not only changes the flavor, but also significantly reduces the content of beneficial compounds. Research from Washington University School of Medicine has revealed a concerning fact. Sprouted garlic loses up to 70% of its allicin compound, the main component that creates garlic's health benefits. For elderly people, losing these compounds can affect their ability to control blood pressure, cholesterol, and boost their already weakened immune system due to aging. Particularly dangerous is when garlic is soaked in oil and improperly stored. This anaerobic, oxygen-free environment creates ideal conditions for Clostridium botulinum bacteria to grow, the cause of botulism. This is an extremely dangerous form of food poisoning that can cause muscle paralysis and even death, with higher risk in elderly people due to their weakened immune systems. Additionally, garlic contains important enzymes like alliinase, which plays a role in converting alliin to allicin, a compound with high biological activity. The cold and humid environment of the refrigerator reduces the activity of this enzyme, causing garlic to lose its ability to produce allicin when cut or crushed. So how should garlic be properly stored? Keep whole garlic in a dry, well-ventilated place at room temperature. You can use a loosely woven basket or wooden box with ventilation holes. Avoid storing garlic in airtight containers or plastic bags, as this will trap moisture and cause garlic to spoil quickly. For peeled or minced garlic, you can soak it in vinegar or lemon juice to prevent bacterial growth, then store it in the refrigerator for no more than 1 week. Another long-term storage method is to mince garlic and freeze it in ice cube trays, then transfer to zip bags and use as needed. These simple methods will help you maximize the health benefits of garlic for elderly people. Coffee, a favorite beverage of many Americans, especially elderly people, but improper storage can cause you to lose its delicious flavor and valuable health benefits. Many people habitually keep coffee in the refrigerator, hoping to preserve its freshness longer, but this is a common mistake. Coffee has extremely strong hygroscopic properties, meaning it easily absorbs moisture and odors from the surrounding environment. When placed in the refrigerator, coffee quickly absorbs moisture and other odors from surrounding foods, completely changing its characteristic flavor. You might notice coffee smelling like onions, garlic, or even fish after being kept in the refrigerator. Research from the Specialty Coffee Association of America has published a notable finding. Coffee stored in the refrigerator loses up to 40% of its aromatic compounds within just 24 hours. This explains why your coffee suddenly becomes bland and loses its distinctive flavor. Not only affecting flavor, the moisture in refrigerators also breaks down chlorogenic acids, valuable antioxidants in coffee. Losing these substances is unfortunate because they help protect cardiovascular and brain health, reducing the risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases. Particularly, moist coffee is an ideal environment for mold growth. Mold on coffee can produce ochratoxin A toxin that can cause kidney damage and has carcinogenic properties. Elderly people with weakened immune systems are particularly sensitive to these toxins. So, what's the correct way to store coffee? Keep coffee in a sealed, dark container in a dry place at room temperature, away from heat sources and direct sunlight. Ideally, use a container with a one-way valve, allowing CO2 gas to escape without letting air in, helping coffee maintain freshness longer. Whole bean coffee can maintain good flavor for about 1 month, while ground coffee should be used within 2 weeks to ensure the best quality. If you buy coffee in large quantities, divide it into smaller portions and store unused portions in the freezer compartment, in sealed containers or vacuum-sealed bags. When needed, take out just enough for use and allow the coffee to reach room temperature before opening the container to avoid absorbing moisture. Honey, liquid gold from nature with countless health benefits, especially valuable for elderly people. However, storing honey in the refrigerator can make it not only difficult to use, but also cause it to lose many wonderful properties of this food. When honey is placed in cold environments below 50 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees C, crystallization occurs rapidly. Glucose in honey separates and forms solid crystals, making honey hard and difficult to scoop. This is particularly inconvenient for elderly people who may struggle when needing to apply force to extract hardened honey. Research from the University of Illinois has revealed a concerning fact. Honey kept in refrigerators loses up to 60% of enzymes beneficial for the digestive system. These enzymes play an important role in supporting digestion and nutrient absorption, a common issue in elderly people. Natural honey contains many enzymes such as diastase, invertase, and glucose oxidase, which help metabolize carbohydrates and have natural antibacterial effects. Furthermore, when honey is removed from the refrigerator, the temperature difference creates moisture on the surface and inside the honey jar. This moisture can lead to unwanted fermentation, changing the flavor and reducing the quality of honey. Fermented honey can cause digestive problems such as bloating and indigestion, symptoms particularly uncomfortable for elderly people. Specifically, cold temperatures also reduce the activity of glucose oxidase enzyme, the enzyme that produces hydrogen peroxide, a substance with natural antibacterial properties in honey. This reduces the antibacterial ability of honey, one of its most valuable properties that allows honey to be used to support treatment of respiratory issues and open wounds. So, what's the correct way to store honey? Keep honey in a glass or ceramic jar with a tight lid at room temperature and away from direct sunlight. With this storage method, honey can maintain its quality for many years, even decades. This is one of the natural foods with the longest shelf life as long as it's stored properly. If honey has crystallized, you can restore its liquid state by placing the honey jar in a bowl of warm water, not exceeding 110 to 43 degrees Celsius, and stirring gently. Avoid direct heating or using the microwave, as high temperatures will destroy valuable enzymes and nutrients. With this simple method, you can maximize the health benefits of honey for elderly people. Bananas, common and nutritious fruits, particularly suitable for elderly people as they're easy to eat and rich in nutrients. However, storing bananas in the refrigerator can cause you to lose many valuable health benefits and significantly reduce the quality of this fruit. Bananas are tropical fruits that don't adapt well to temperatures below 58 degrees, 14 degrees C. When placed in the refrigerator, the natural ripening process of bananas is completely interrupted. The enzymes responsible for converting starch to sugar and developing characteristic flavor stop working, preventing bananas from ripening evenly and fully developing their flavor. Research from the University of California has published a notable finding. Bananas kept in refrigerators lose up to 40% of antioxidants, dopamine, and catechin, compounds that play a role in protecting the brain from age-related damage. For elderly people, Losing these substances is unfortunate as they can help reduce the risk of cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's. Not only affecting nutritional value, storing bananas in the refrigerator also causes unusual changes in appearance. Banana peels quickly turn black, giving the impression that bananas are overripe or spoiled, while the flesh remains unripe and doesn't ripen evenly. This phenomenon occurs because cells in the banana peel are damaged by cold temperatures, releasing enzymes that blacken the peel without relating to the ripening process inside. Importantly, bananas also contain plenty of potassium and vitamin B6, essential nutrients for cardiovascular and nervous system health in elderly people. Cold temperatures reduce the absorption capability of these vitamins, preventing the body from fully utilizing the nutritional benefits that bananas provide. So how should bananas be properly stored? Keep bananas at room temperature, preferably hanging them to avoid bruising and allow air to circulate evenly. Separate individual fruits if you want to slow the ripening process, as bananas naturally release ethylene gas that helps the ripening process occur faster when kept close together. If bananas are overripe, don't rush to throw them away. You can peel them, slice them, and freeze them for later use in smoothies or banana bread. Overripe bananas actually contain more antioxidants and are easier to digest, an advantage for the digestive systems of elderly people. With these simple methods, you can maximize the nutritional value of bananas and help protect brain and cardiovascular health for elderly people. Olive oil, liquid gold from the Mediterranean region with countless health benefits, especially for elderly people. However, storing olive oil in the refrigerator can significantly reduce the quality and effectiveness of this precious oil. When olive oil is placed in cold environments below 50 degrees, 10 degrees, it begins to solidify and appears cloudy, similar to animal fat. This not only makes the oil difficult to use, but also changes its texture and characteristic flavor. Many people don't realize that the process of taking oil out of the refrigerator and warming it up multiple times actually promotes oxidation and creates harmful free radicals. Research from the University of Barcelona has revealed a concerning fact. Olive oil that undergoes 5 cooling warming cycles loses up to 45% of its polyphenol compounds, valuable anti-inflammatory substances found in pure olive oil. For elderly people who often face chronic inflammatory diseases like arthritis, losing these compounds is unfortunate. Furthermore, oxidized olive oil may contain peroxide compounds, substances that can irritate the digestive tract and exacerbate gastrointestinal problems in elderly people. High-quality olive oil contains many monounsaturated fatty acids, especially oleic acid, which helps protect the cardiovascular system and reduce bad cholesterol. However, when oxidized, these fatty acids can turn into harmful compounds, even increasing inflammation instead of reducing it like fresh olive oil. Particularly, olive oil also contains vitamins E and K, fat-soluble vitamins important for bone health and antioxidation. The oxidation process due to improper storage significantly reduces the content of these vitamins, causing elderly people to miss out on these essential nutrients for bone and joint health and immune system. So what's the correct way to store olive oil? Keep olive oil in dark glass bottles or stainless steel containers at room temperature and away from direct sunlight and heat sources. The ideal temperature is about 65-75 degrees, 18-24 degrees, equivalent to normal room temperature. Importantly, ensure the cap is tightly closed after each use to reduce exposure to oxygen. High-quality, pure olive oil can maintain its flavor and nutritional value for up to 2 years if stored properly. If you buy in large quantities, divide it into smaller dark bottles and only open one bottle at a time to minimize exposure to air. A small note: if your olive oil has a foul smell, uncharacteristic bitter taste, or metallic taste, that's a sign that the oil has oxidized and should be replaced. With these simple storage methods, you can maximize the cardiovascular and anti-inflammatory health benefits of olive oil for elderly people. Throughout today's video, we've explored 9 foods that elderly people should never store in the refrigerator. From potatoes with the risk of acrylamide formation, bread that becomes dry and hard, onions losing heart-healthy flavonoids, to tomatoes losing flavor and vitamin C, garlic reducing valuable allicin compounds, coffee losing its characteristic aroma, honey crystallizing and losing enzymes, bananas unable to ripen evenly, and olive oil oxidizing quickly. Organizing your refrigerator scientifically not only helps preserve food better, but also protects the health of elderly people. Remember, not all foods need to be refrigerated. Many foods maintain their flavor and nutritional value better at room temperature or in a cool place. By storing food properly, you not only save money but also protect your health and that of your loved ones. Fresh, nutritious food is the foundation for a healthy body, particularly important for elderly people whose immune systems have declined over time. Always pay attention to signs that food has spoiled, such as unusual color changes, strange odors, slimy texture, or mold. For elderly people, food poisoning symptoms can be more serious and longer lasting. If you experience symptoms such as nausea, stomach pain, prolonged diarrhea, high fever, or dehydration, seek medical help immediately. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to health. Share this valuable information with relatives, friends, and especially elderly members of your family. A simple conversation about food storage can help prevent serious health problems in the future. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share with those who might need this information. Don't forget to leave comments about your personal experiences or ask questions if you need more information about safe food storage. Finally, remember that good health begins with small daily choices, and how you store food is one of those important choices. From your kitchen to the health of your entire family, every decision matters. Choose wisely and live healthily every day. Thank you for watching 9 Foods Elderly People Should Never Keep in the Refrigerator. See you in the next video with more useful information about health and nutrition for elderly people.